Hello everyone, and once again welcome to my channel Engineering Made Simple. Now in the last class we were studying signals and system course. Now in that we were studying the topic of mathematical operations on continuous time signals. So in yesterday's class we covered what is amplitude scaling and what is time scaling. Now in this part 2 of the same lecture we will cover some remaining mathematical operations that were left to discuss in mathematical operations on given continuous time signal. So let us study the third one, which is also known as folding or reflection or transpose of a continuous time signal. Now what does a folding mathematical operation mean in terms of a continuous time signal? So let us see what do we mean by folding in continuous time signals. Now the folding of a continuous time signal is done by changing the sign of the base t in the signal x of t. Now by now you know t is the time axis or the independent variable of the continuous time signal x of t. Now folding we are saying that we are folding the signal by changing the sign of the reference axis or x axis or t axis. So now how it is performed? Now the folded signal produces a signal x of t, which is also known as the folded version x of minus t, which is also which is called as the folded version of the signal x of t. So what I essentially mean to say that if x of minus t is the folded version, this signal is known as the folded version of original given signal x of t. So whenever I change the sign of the independent variable t to minus t, I get the folded version. Now there is no need to get confused over here. Folding is the most simplest operation of the continuous time signal. So what folding essentially does is, if you have a given signal x of t, you have to just plot the mirror image of it to get the folded version of the signal. So that's what is written over here in the second point. The folding operation produces a signal x of minus t, which is nothing but the mirror image of the original signal x of t with respect to time origin. So even if you are asked to draw a folded signal of a given signal x of t, or if you are asked to perform folding operation on a given continuous time signal, then what you are supposed to do? You have to just draw the mirror image of the given signal x of t. Now how will you do so? Now the first point states that if for folding operation we change the sign of the independent variable time. So this is x of t, which is given to us. This is the plot of the given signal x of t. Now we want to find the folded version, that is x of minus t, of the given signal x of t. Now how will you do it? You have to just change the sign of the time axis. Now here it is 1, 2, 3. So this is our time axis, and these are the time instant 1, this is the time instant 2, and this is the time instant 3. Now we are supposed to change the sign of the time axis in order to get the folded version. So this 1, 2 and 3, if you multiply it by minus 1, the sign will get changed. Also the sign will get changed, because minus 1 it will become, because we want to find the folded version, so we are going to change its sign. So this 1 will become minus 1, this 2 will become minus 2, this 3 will become minus 3, because we are changing the sign of the independent variable t. And also with the change of the sign, the signal will shift to the left hand side, that is, it will fold to the left hand side, and its amplitude, nothing will change in terms of its amplitude values. So x of minus t is nothing but, x of minus t's value is 1 for the in between 0 to minus 1. So whatever the value of the signal was in the case of 0 to plus 1, the same value, amplitude value will be there, but it will be present for the negative value of the time axis, that is from 0 to minus 1 it will be present. Whatever the value was there in for the case of 1 to 2, the same value will be present for minus 1 to 2. So it is nothing but, you observe these two waveforms, this is x of t and this is x of minus t. So x of t is a right hand sided waveform, and x of minus t is, the entire waveform is shifted to the left or folded to the left with respect to t is equal to 0, but the amplitude values of the signal remain the same. Only the time axis changes. Earlier the time axis values were 1, 2, 3, and when we folded the signal we got minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, but rest all amplitude values are the same. So So I hope this is clear. Now we will study the next type of mathematical operation. Time shifting of given series signal. Now what do you mean by time shifting? We are going to shift the signal. Understand? When I say time, time is present on the x-axis of your given continuous time signal, because time is the independent variable in continuous time signal case. So when I use the term time shifting, I am talking about shifting the signal about the time axis. So now there are two types of time shifting operations possible. One is known as time delay. So whenever you are asked to plot the signal of type x of t minus m, then we say that x of t minus m is nothing but time delayed version of x of t. And it is said to have a delay of 2 units. Okay. Then the second type of time shifting operation that we perform is time advance. And it is denoted by x of t plus m. Delay of m units, sorry, not 2 units. So this is x of t plus m, so time delay version of, this is time advance version of, time advance version of given signal x of t, and it is said to have advanced by m units. M units. In delay case also it was m units. By mistake I wrote there too as following. So so this is how shifting is done, and these are the two different types of shifting. But now whatever I have written over here, you will understand with the help of an example only. So kindly make a note of these 2 points, because I am erasing those. And when I will show you what is time delay and what is time advance, you will come to know whatever I have written in the statements. So directly with the help of example, I will explain these 2 statements. So that I am asking you to plot x of t minus 2. Okay, so this is nothing but time delayed version of x of t. Time delayed version of x of t. Now what is our x of t? X of t will keep the same that we were discussing throughout this lecture and the previous lecture also. So I will define the signal x of t. So this is our x of t. So let us plot it. So this is our signal x of t. Now we want to find its time delayed version, which is x of t minus 2. This is amplitude value 1, this is amplitude value 2. This is 1, 2, 3, and this is our time x. Now we are supposed to find out the time delayed version x of t minus 2. So how will you find what is x of t minus 2? So now understand one thing over here. So the plot says x of t minus 2. That means we have to shift the time axis to the right by 2 units, because it is time delayed version. So now here the signal is starting from t is equal to 0. But now when I shift it by 2 units, or delay it by 2 units, the signal will start from t is equal to 2. So wherever t is there, replace it with t minus 2. So how will you get? So x of t minus 2 will be so directly we will plot it over here, then only we will understand what it is actually. So the one thing is pretty much clear that when we shift the signal by 2 units, the signal will start from t is equal to 2. So okay, whenever we have t is equal to 2 value, so let us substitute here. When because the signal will be starting from t is equal to 2 point, because we have shifted it by 2 units. Earlier the signal was starting from 0, but it is as it is x of t minus 2, we are starting the signal from 2 point. So now substitute value of t is equal to 2 in the equation. So x of 2 minus 2 will be x of 0. And what is the value of the signal x of t at x is equal to 0? Its value is 1. Now similarly, let us also plot for t is equal to 3. So what will be the value for t is equal to 3? So x of t minus 2. In place of t, we are putting 3 now. So 3 minus 2 will get x of 1. So what is the value of x of 1 over here? It's 1. Then the next part. For t is equal to 4, what is the value? T minus 2, x of t minus 2. In place of t, we are putting 4. So x of 4 minus 2 is nothing but x of 2. And what is the value of x of 2 in the original signal x of t? It is nothing but it is 2. The original signal value. So it is at t equal to 2, its value is 2. At time instant 2, its value is 2. Value of x of t. And for x is equal to, and for t is equal to 5. So x of 5 minus 2 is nothing but x of 3, and its value is nothing but 1. So now let us plot this shifted signal. So I am writing x of t minus 2. It is delay by 2 units. So now we are plotting what is known as x of t minus 2. So let us start plotting it. I am using different color for understanding. So this is x of t minus 2. Why I say it is delayed by 2 units, I will understand. Now for different time intervals of t, or different values of t, we have plotted x of t minus 2. And how we have got, I have shown you the calculation. And why I am starting from t is equal to 2? Because the signal x of t minus 2 indicates the signal will start from t is equal to 2 points. So I have put the values of t is equal to 2 to t is equal to 5 in order to get this signal plot of x of t minus 2. So this is as usual our time axis. So I will write one second. So this is our time axis. This is our signal x of t minus 2. Now this x of t minus 2 is starting from t is equal to 2. So what was the value for t is equal to 2 case? So it is starting our signal has shifted by 2 units. Now earlier it was starting from 0, but x of t minus 2 is starting from 2. So we will get a signal which is looking like this. But the signal will remain the same in terms of its amplitude value, but it is only shifted in terms of its time axis. So that is why it is known as time shifting of a given continuous time signal. So let's see whether I have plotted correctly. So what was the value for t is equal to 2 case? It was x of 0, so it was 1. So it is 1 over here. and between 3 to 4 its value was, amplitude value was, sorry, 2, and in between 4 to 5 again the value was 1. So this is our time shifted or time delayed version of a given continuous time sequence. Now the next type of time shifting we will perform, which is nothing but time advanced version. Of given signal x of t. Now as here plus 2 is there, so we are saying time advance. So when we say something is advanced, meaning something is starting before its time. Now here we have the given signal x of t, and we are saying x of t plus 2 is time advanced version of the given signal x of t. And if this is x of t, and if anything is starting in advance, meaning anything is starting from before, earlier, from where it is used to start. Now here our signal x of t is starting from t is equal to 0, but this is time advanced version, which is x of t plus 2. So as it is advancing by 2, that plus 2 indicates that value, that is we noted the same thing, right, x of t plus n, where the signal was advanced by n units. Minutes, right? So now earlier the signal was starting from t is equal to 0 point, but because here x of t plus 2 is there, and we say wherever there is x of t plus 2, we say that it is time advanced version of a given signal x of t. So now the signal which was earlier starting from t is equal to 0 point, it will start from t is equal to minus 2 point. So accordingly we will plot the values. Now this is our time advanced version, that is x of t plus 2. So now in this x of t plus 2 we will start putting, like, the amplitude values will not will remain unchanged. So this time shifting operation doesn't have any change in the amplitude value of the signal. So remember remember one thing. Remember, when you are doing time shifting or time scaling, your amplitude values of the signal doesn't change. Only your independent variable time changes, because specifically it is mentioned that mathematical operation is performed on the independent variable time. So the amplitude values will remain the same. Now as I said to you, because it is time advanced version, so the signal will begin from t is equal to minus 2. So let us start putting values from t is equal to minus 2 in this particular equation. So now understand here. So when I put t is equal to minus 2 in this equation, so minus 2 plus 2. So x of minus 2 plus 2 is nothing but x of 0. And what is the value of x of 0 in this equation? So x of 0 will have value 1. Now we will put t is equal to minus 1 in this equation. So what is minus 1 plus 2? X of minus 2. So it is nothing but x of plus 1. So what was the value of x of plus 1 in this case over here? It was 1. Look at the original signal x of t. So what was the value of x of 1 in this case? It was 1 only. See, because it traced this value. Then again put what is after minus 1? 0 will come. So in place of t we put 0. So x of 0 plus 2 is nothing but x of 2. And what is the value of x of 2 in the original signal x of t? What is the value of x of 2? It is 2. And then again we will put the next value, which is t is equal to 1, because after 0 1 will come. So x of 1 plus 2 is nothing but x of 3. What is the value of x of 3 in the original signal? It is 1. So now let us plot the time advanced version. So I hope this is pretty much clear. So this is known as time advanced. version of given signal, time advance of given signal equals t by 2 union. So now let us draw its plot. So now our signal which was starting from t is equal to 0 point will start from t is equal to minus. So now here under this point. So this is our signal, this is 2 amplitude and this is 1 amplitude line. So from this example only it is pretty much clear that what is time delay and what was time advance. So earlier the signal which was starting from t is equal to 0 point, now it is shifted to minus 2 point, and this is how our plot looks like. So I hope this is pretty much clear. Now we will move on to the next mathematical operation, which is addition of two continuous time signals. So now the next and the most simple mathematical operation on continuous time signal is addition. So how do we add two continuous time signals x1t and x2t? So when we are supposed to add two continuous time signals x2t, x1t and x2t, sorry, here also I written x1t by mistake. So these are two different signals x1t and x2t, and when we are supposed to add it, let's say the added signal is y of t. Y of t is nothing but addition of x1t plus x2t. So how will you add these signals? Now this signal has independent variable time. So when we are supposed to add this, we are supposed to add the amplitudes of the given signal corresponding to the given instance of time. So now this is our given signal x1t. So this is how it is defined. Its value is 1 for 0 less than t less than 1, and the rest all values. Then this is x2t. So this is how it is defined. So for in between 0 to time interval 0 and 1, it is defined as t. In between 1 to 2, it is defined as 1, and in between 2 to 3, it is defined as minus t plus 3. Minus t plus 3t. So when we are supposed to add these two signals, we are supposed to add the amplitudes of the corresponding given time intervals. So what is the value of the given signal in between the time interval 0 and 1, that is 0 less than t less than 1, it is 1. And what is the amplitude value of the given signal x2t in between the time interval, that is the same time interval 0 less than t less than 1, its value is t. So when we add these two signals to get the signal y of t, so what was the value in between 0 and 1? Amplitude value was 1 for the signal x1t. Now we add x2t value. What was the value of the given signal x2t in this particular given time interval, that is in between 0 and 1? It was t. So I add these two. So that is 1 plus t. So I added 1 plus t. So now I got a straight line. It is of the type y is equal to mx plus c. Now here slope is 1. So in this way we have added the corresponding same time intervals. Now let us see for the next time interval. So what is the value of the signal x1t in between the time interval 1 to 2? It is 2. And what is the value of the signal x2t? What is the amplitude of the value of the given signal x2t in between the time interval 1 and 2? It is 1. So our final value will be the addition of the amplitudes, that is 2 plus 1. So it is normally 3. So this is simpler in between the time interval 1 to 2. Similarly, for the time interval 2 to 3, we add 1 with minus t plus 3. Now when we add 1 with minus t plus 3, we get equation 4 minus t. Now we are supposed to plot in between 0 to 1 the value of the signal which is y of t, which is the addition of x1t and x2t. So now we have obtained this equation in between time interval 0 to 1. Our value is 1 plus t. Now how will you plot 1 plus t? So y is equal to 1 plus t. So in other words, it is same as y is equal to mx plus c. So where y is equal to your t is the independent variable. Okay, so t plus constant is 1. So if you compare the equation, we get the slope value as m is equal to 1. So it has a positive slope. So it is rising and it is plus 1. Constant is plus 1. So that's the reason it is starting from plus 1 point. Now the second time interval is pretty much clear. When we add 2 plus 1, it is 3, and amplitude value of 3 is generally is simply located in between 1 to 2 as 3. So this is pretty much simpler. Now in between the time intervals 2 and 3, the waveform goes like this. It is 4 minus t. So other way of writing y is equal to 4 minus t, that is y of t is equal to 4 minus t, is nothing but y of t is equal to 4 minus t. We can also write it as minus t plus 4. It is one and the same thing. But from here, if we compare with the equation of straight line, y is equal to mx plus c, you get m is equal to minus 1. Okay, m is equal to minus 1. So m is equal to minus 1. So this line will have negative slope. So that's the reason it is shown like this. And if you put the different values of t, you will get why this particular line is intersecting at this point. So this is how you add these two signals with respect to its corresponding time intervals. Add its amplitude with respect to its corresponding time intervals, and then plot the final signal. So this is how addition is done. Now we will study the next mathematical operation, which is multiplication of continuous time signals. So now we will study multiplication of continuous time signals. And now if we have two signals x1t and x2t, and if you want to find the signal y of t, which is nothing but the multiplication of x1t and x2t, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to multiply the amplitudes of both the amplitude values of both the signals x1t and x2t corresponding to its time intervals. Now understand this over here. This is x1t, and for time interval t from t is equal to 0 to t equal to 1, its value is 1, amplitude value is 1. And similarly, see the corresponding time interval in the x to t column. So it is defined as t in between t is equal to 0 to t equal to 1. So what will be our signal? Y of t, which is multiplication of x1t into x2t. It will be nothing but multiplication of its amplitude value corresponding to the same time interval. So what is the value of x1t in between t is equal to 0 to 1? It is 1. And what is the amplitude value of x2t in between the time interval t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 1? It is t. So 1 into t is nothing but t. Similarly, for the next time interval, what is the time interval of x1t in between 1 to 2? It is 2. And what is the what is the value of the amplitude of the signal in between time interval 1 to 2? It is 1. So 2 into 1 will be 2. So that will be our multiplied signal. Now in last time interval, in between 2 to 3, what is the value of the signal x1t? Its value is 1. And in between 2 to 3, what is the value of the signal x2t, which looks like this? Its value is minus t plus 3. So now 1 into minus t plus 3 is nothing but minus t plus 3. So now let us plot y of t, which is nothing but multiplication of x1t into x2t. So this is t. So this is how this t will look like. And for in between time interval 1 to 2, its value is 2, because by multiplication we found out. And again by multiplication in between 2 to 3, its value is minus t plus 3. So this is how the multiplied signal is plotted. And this minus t plus 3 is nothing but a straight line with negative slope. So that is why we obtain this. And this t is nothing but it is similar to our ramp signal. And it is starting from origin only, because there is nothing added or subtracted to it. So that's why it is a straight line. It is just like a straight line equation or ramp curve. So this is how we obtain a multiplied signal, obtained by multiplying two continuous time signals x1t and x2t by multiplying the amplitudes of the given corresponding time intervals. Now we will study the last two of the given mathematical operations, which are differentiation and integration. of given CT signal. Now both these mathematical operations are different, but I have, in order to cover it quickly, I am taking differentiation and integration of given CT signal. Now what do you mean by differentiation? Now if you have a given continuous time signal x of t, when I say you have to find operate it with the differentiation operator with respect to t, because independent variable in our given continuous time signal is t. So we do dx of t by dt. Now let us say this is our differentiation case. So now for example, we have here x of t is e raised to at. This is our continuous time signal. Now we are supposed to find its differentiated version, that is dx of t by dt. So how will you find out dx of t by dt? It is nothing but e raised to at into a. Okay. So a into e raised to at, because by differentiation formula we got this. So for this particular signal operation, as this is a mathematical equation only, signal equation, which is integrated or differentiated with respect to independent variable time t, you are required to know differentiation and integration formula that you have already studied in mathematics. So when I differentiate this particular given continuous time signal with respect to t, I get this particular value e raised to at into a. Now the next mathematical operation is integration. Now if I have a given signal x of t and I am supposed to find its integration operator, so integration of x of t with respect to dt will be your integrated version of x of t. Let us take the same signal for integration purpose. Now here we have x of t is equal to e raised to at, but now we are supposed to find its integration. So for finding its integration, what we will do, integration of x of t with respect to dt. Now what is the value of signal x of t we have? Integration e raised to at dt. Now what is the this is a standard formula only. What is integration of e raised to at into dt? It is nothing but e raised to at upon a. So this is how we find the integration of a given continuous time signal. So all these mathematical operations are complete. Now these are the different types of mathematical operations that we perform on a given continuous time signal x of t. So that's all for the day.